What if the Pie Man and Sour Grapes were anime villains? Salutations! I'm Silver Fae, a storm sylph who is also an aspiring artist and author. If you're new to the court, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you're a returning member, it's great to see you again. This video is the start of a new series in which I redesign and rewrite characters from Strawberry Shortcake as magical girls. I'm starting a little differently than usual since it's so close to spooky season. I thought it'd be fitting to begin with the villains of the beloved franchise. Sour Grapes was once a member of the Baker's Dozen, an elite group of magical heroines who protect Berryland. She was also one of the most talented artisan winemakers in the land, and she, like the other members of the Baker's Dozen, was given a magical gift by the goddess Levain as a reward for her dedication and skill. But with that power came a responsibility to uphold the sacred code of the Baker's Dozen. Measure with the heart. Together, the Baker's Dozen led by example and compassion. They strove to encourage people under their care to explore, create, and most importantly, strive for authenticity. Sour Grapes upheld these ideals for many years. She wanted to expand. There were lands beyond Berryland, ones that had never experienced her artistry. But she was just one winemaker. Where could she start? If it was even possible. Sour Grapes was at a loss, until a mysterious man arrived in Berryland. The Pie Man came to Berryland with ideas, raving about grand tales he'd heard of the legendary bakers in Berryland. He met with the Baker's Dozen and spoke of innovation, grand scales of production, a promise to each and every one of them that their products would soon reach the taste buds of everyone in Berryland and beyond. Though, as he continued his explanations, the intrigue that lit up the eyes of Berryland's protectors faded. The members of the Baker's Dozen all outright rejected his proposal, all except Sour Grapes. What he promised was everything she'd been craving. She sought him out as he left the meeting, inviting him to a private tasting at her winery. It was there the two of them schemed. The more they spoke, the more their admiration for one another grew. Sour Grapes tried to share her plans with the Baker's Dozen, but they argued against it. They said that what the Pie Man suggested went against the very heart she'd been taught to measure with. It was then that Sour Grapes declared her departure and renounced her title as the 13th member of the Baker's Dozen. The Pie Man built the beginnings of their enterprise empire in a long-forgotten field at the edge of Berryland. It was there that Sour Grapes moved her own operations and production began. Over time, Sour Grapes noticed a change in her powers. Her helpers she'd been able to summon began to look and act different. Their pleasant, helpful demeanor vanished, replaced by a ravenous aggression. Once she summoned them to help with a menial task, but she came back to the room to find that everything had been devoured rather than moved. There was also far more of them than she had summoned before. The change irked her, but the Pie Man, as clever as ever, had an idea. Sour Grapes' farm did not yield enough crop to meet their projected demand. They needed more land and more factories if they were going to reach their goal. Her minions, as he called them, were just what they needed to pave the way for their expansion. It wasn't long before farmsteads and towns became obstacles. My design process for these two started out rough. My first hurdle was sour grapes. I knew what I wanted to reference, but every time I tried to look up magical girl villainesses in the search, the results were muddled. So I turned to the Court of Fae Discord for help. Link is in the description. There were some great suggestions, and I kept them all in mind while I created this design for sour grapes. As for the pie man, well, I'm gonna be honest, he didn't end up looking any sort of evil. In retrospect, I could have attempted to play with his colors more. I tried to make his eyes look sinister, but I'm not sure how well that turned out. Most of the evil male villains in magical girl animes are like beastly or some form of clown, and I didn't want to use those. So I decided that his otherwise wholesome looking design helped him be charming. The fact he looks disarming is totally on purpose. Let me be Delulu and use this to cope with my failure, please. Also, fun little tidbit, his scepter is based off of a whisk and he can use it to fly around. I didn't know how else to write that into the script, but there you go. Just a fun little design detail for him. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. The link to the Discord is down in the description below also. And if you got this far, please don't forget to leave a grape or a pie in the comment section below to help appease the algorithm. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!